Eyo.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
Guten
that's about
Morgen.
they ever get. So you're safe. And this is why I do technical. So yeah, how y'all doing, folks?
I'm good.
Yeah, been
I'm
okay.
keen. I'm done. I'm great.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's I feel like that's the most energy we'll ever get from Nadine. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
That's it. She's done for today. That's all she's got.
All right. Thanks, folks. I'll see you later.
Let's close the stream before it goes downhill. Quick.
Peaked early, but we peaked well.
Exactly.
Premature. Anyway, so okay, are we ready to just dive right in, or is there any pressing topic that needs discussing before we do so?
I don't know if there's any pressing topic. Does anyone have any housekeeping?
Yes.
Who's taking minutes? Technically, it's me. I'm taking minutes.
Yep.
Oh, I shouldn't have asked that question. It makes it sound like
That
I'm
would-
not doing my job.
That would suggest we remember things.
That's
All of us
bullshit.
have ADHD. How do you remember things like that?
I just don't.
Oh, good. I feel good now. Thanks, Sam. You made everything better.
I'm not using it. It's not required. If it's required, I can go look it up. Welcome to the age of smartphones and Google. Alrighty then.
Actually, point of housekeeping.
Uh-oh.
Look how pretty the overlay is. Pretty overlay.
Yeah.
I made a new overlay.
Yep. You are just awesomely creative with this stuff, Chantel.
Creativity.
Mhm.
Look at
Also-
my house.
Also, possibly, I had a joke and then I looked at it and said, "Don't say that on the air, Michelle. That's bad." Just never mind.
Though I kind of love it. Notice that Chevalier has a legend point and Mysel isn't on the list.
Actually, point of housekeeping. Mysel, Moosel.
It's from a word I found on Google Translate, which is technically Miesel. And as soon as I opened my mouth to say it, it came out Mysel. And I'm not going to correct that because I will continue to make that mistake. So I might as well lean into it. So it's Mysel.
Mysel. I guess I should change the legend points.
That and I keep putting an F at the end whenever I type it, which is
yeah, I just
awkward
did that.
when some of it's like that's a little.
So-
What's the-
Is the legend point is not owned by the player; it is owned.
Boop.
So
What?
awkward.
yeah.
But. Oh. Okay, so we need. So what you're saying
Mysel has
is,
to earn his own.
if we bring Chevalier, I need to keep a note then, because if we bring Chevalier back from the dead, Chevalier still has a legend point.
Presumably at that point he has all the legend points.
At that point, he's a legend.
And it's pretty much open to discussion at that point.
Yes.
It's also on his character sheet, so if he does come back, like I should know, assuming I read.
So. But I mean, you've already
Comes
said
back
you
ready to
don't know.
pop off.
We
Just said this.
just talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Newfoundland, as they say here in Canada. So just to make sure our notes line up here, who do you have as having legend points on the screen there, Chantal?
The group has none. Alexandre has none. Reneshi has none. Mysel has none. Spider has none. Renamala has one.
Nadine has 12.
Nadine, the person,
Mm-hmm.
has yet to gain any legend points.
Yeah, she's
That's
been
what
hanging.
you think.
I haven't been using them. I would advise you to use them if you have them.
Okay. Ashka?
You don't have to. There's no requirement for you to. Just
Something about a toaster and a haircut and something.
As I'm aware,
I
you can only
spent a
stack
legend
10
point
anyway.
to get $200 worth of board games.
you know what? I feel like that gains you one. I don't think you spend one for that to happen.
Fair.
It's a good expenditure, in
My bank account spent one.
Animal Plautus board games. I'm just.
The bank has received a legend point this day.
I also like the $200 worth of board games could mean that you bought one board game or like 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 2.
Yeah. In my house, that's about right. Yeah.
Which ones?
I got Everdell. So good. I remember the name. And the other one is called Survive.
Okay.
Yeah, one is like your cute little woodland creatures, and you've got to collect resources to make sure that your city is going to prosper through the winter. And the other one is you're trying to get off of Atlantis with all your treasures. And sharks and whales and krakens eat you. So
No thanks.
That's awkward.
yes.
Don't give
Said it
Michelle
this afternoon.
ideas. Please.
Hey Michelle, no.
This is why we avoided the boat.
There's no boat to be found.
There was not a boat.
Nary a boat.
I did mention the thing about you guys taking a boat on the river underground, didn't I?
Well, technically, we're walking under an ocean at some point, so I guess the Kraken could come from above, but I imagine that leads to a lot more problems.
Why would you?
Like, there are so many other problems we
Just
have at
stop
that
while
point.
you can, please. Please, Sam. Stop now. Stop. I just feel like, Sam, you create such horrors in your head. I need you not to.
Do you not remember Shadow of the Demon Lord at all?
Yes, I remember all of it, which is why I'm asking him to stop.
Well, it's called collaborative narrative.
It's not collaborative.
Is why we're doing this. So, Sam running Shadow of the Demon Lord is why we're all here, actually.
Sam running Shadow of the Demon Lord is why we're all here. Correct.
I have a
Sam
standard.
rolling dice scares me also.
I think that's how causation works.
All right then. So Spider, give me a quick recap of recent events, if you'd be so kind, there, mate.
Well, we made our way from the point of Lucas's disappearance to Crucereds, which is like the literal halfway point to nowhere. And we've been holed up here for a night, and we met with the local head of the Dashamali family, who was meant to assign us a guide for the next part of our journey, because it was my understanding that the siblings weren't coming with us any further than this. But they have been asked if they'd be interested. I feel a little bit like maybe they just feel guilty that 2 of our party have gone missing, but it's not really their fault. So, I mean, like, they don't have to. I'll talk to them later.
Okay. Alexandre, your thoughts?
Is that a chip mug?
Yeah.
My God.
It's chip.
I adore that. Where did you get that?
The
I'm sorry.
Disney store in Paris.
Disney store in Paris.
So cute.
Yes, that is fun.
I can't make him. He's too bright. He's too bright.
Yeah,
Did I forget to mention that the place was under attack by vampires?
Yes, in fact, you did mention.
Yeah, you did. Yes. I was about to mention that, but first I had to mention the creepy kids we found. Or more specifically, the creepy kids that found us. I don't know what else to do with that information. Do we just run? Maybe we just run. I don't know if I'm talking about the Velvet Run or the creepy kid now. We just run from all of them. Yes, that's it. That's it.
Okay. That's the only thing of interest from those are the only relevant points of conversation.
I mean, we went to an archive and looked at a book that looked at Reneshi. And told us about everything that is awful about my life. It's great. I was like, hey, let's go for some distraction from my life. And then what do? We go to an archive and go, hey, let's look at everything to do with your life. That's great. Having fun. I hope she is happy now because she knows everything that is awful about my life.
Well, let's check in with her then. Reneshi, how are you doing? Recent events?
Okay, listen, I tried to do some bonding. Turns out Alexandria has a lot of bad people coming for her ass. And why do books look at me? I'm used to looking at books, not the other way around. So I don't like that. The book was very helpful, so I can't really fault it on that. Anyways, it was going splendidly, and then we got back and the nest is happening. And I'd really rather not have to deal with them so soon after one person died and the other disappeared. So I'm just going to let Marla take the reins on this one. Also, no turning into a bird, probably.
Why?
Why are you here?
Curious. I like to know things.
That much is evident.
Friend book says hello.
You do, but no shit. That's the actual last. Why do books suddenly look back at me? Every time they flip pages, not me.
Didn't expect a Carpenter's cameo, but there you go.
You never know what to expect when you're here.
My soul.
Also, I read The Carpenters as The Cardigans, and I was like,
Wrong.
I don't think that's the right song.
No.
Carpenter wearing cardigans? What? Michael, welcome. Your first opportunity to introspective about recent events. What do you think?
Oh, wow. I've not done this before. This is fun. Okay. Well, I arrived in the town about 3 days ago, and I was told to find some people. My friend had made a deal with the song, or I guess we made a deal with the song. I'm not clear on the details, but I had to find them. And so I looked, and it took a while because apparently they weren't there yet. And then they were, and I found them. So now I'm with these nice people, and it's been fun. It's been quite interesting, though not really sure what I'm supposed to do. And now alarms are going off, so I guess we could go do something about that. I wonder if Velbadran is scared of something.
Creepy kid is creepy.
On that note, so is an uncomfy language choice. Yeah. So there we are, a map. So if you all take a quick glance, you will see there's this thing with the skull and crossbones on it to the northwest, marked towards the hive.
Oh, something about the map, since you've mentioned it. If people are watching from their phone, watching from a computer, and they have a phone, they can hold the phone up to the QR code that I've put on the layout, and they should be redirected to the World Anvil page generally.
Yes, and the map and the maps are all on the first page.
Yes. So, just thought I'd let you know.
Which, by the way, I think is incredibly clever of you, Chantal.
I'm incredibly clever sometimes. Not all the time. Not all the time. I hasten to add. Sometimes.
So yes, the two embassies are now on the map, showing up as little castles, one purple and one red, respectful of the two houses' preferred livery and colors. The inn you folk are staying at, the Trumpeting Lantern, is also docked onto the map. And so you folks are down by the large square, just not far away from the Dashamali embassy, when, as I commented, alarm bells had started ringing.
Have they stopped?
Well, no, it's only been a few moments.
Oh, can maybe they could stop and then the Velbadran could just leave and...
Yep, that could happen. It hasn't happened yet, though.
Okay. Is anyone panicking?
Panic is not quite the right word. It's the equivalent of a fire drill, I guess, is the best way of putting it. You know, when you go to school and the arbitrary, it's late spring, so we have to prove to everyone that we know how to evacuate the school. Fire drill happens, and everyone goes, oh, this again. And so the teachers take an extra couple of minutes putting the books away, and everyone has to line up neatly and blah. It's very obvious that no one's in a hurry to deal with what is supposed to be a fire drill. That is the ambiance of everyone around you.
Is this a Velbadran drill?
Velbadrill?
Velbadrill?
A Velbadrill.
That sounds like a medication of some kind, doesn't it?
I mean, if it is, then yes, it will be. It will feel like one.
I think a better way of putting it is that there are several people who are looking uncomfortably in the general direction of either one of the local bells which is ringing, or in the general direction of the northeast. And there are a few people who are, kind of eye rolling and changing direction from where they were going and heading off in different directions. And generally, you can see people reacting to it. It's just no one's reacting terribly quickly.
Randamala, should people be perhaps reacting a little more urgently? No?
Did you ask Sheer?
Mala.
I asked Mala.
Sorry. Mala will kind of look around. Well, there's an awful lot of fortification between here and there, so I sort of understand why people are being. You'd like them to be a little bit more concerned about their own lives.
Are we expected to do anything?
Well, we should probably head back. Well, I mean, the town has defenders. It has a professional military. It has, officially, what we're supposed to all collectively do is head back to the inn, go to our rooms, and lock the doors. I'm probably going to head in the direction of the wall to see if I can lend a hand. I can completely understand if your collective reaction is not to do that.
Mysel is in thought, and I have two questions, and one of them's for Michelle, the other's for Marla.
Oh.
For Michelle, with the Boon True Sight, I can't quite do power level 7, which is you see through all illusory effects.
Right.
But at power level 5, you see the presence of extraordinary effects such as magic, cloaking technology, and other effects that could be seen through extra visual perception. Would that help identifying of Elbadran?
Oh gosh, yes.
Cool.
Because as wars, power level 5, so literally, even it wouldn't pierce any illusion they'd cast, but there'd basically be the equivalent of this bloody big arrow pointing at them, indicating that an illusion was affecting this individual, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, something funny here is always far better than
one of the nondescript NPCs. I guess for Mala, are Velbadran afraid of anything? Like a creature they run from?
The only thing we're aware of that they really don't like is fire.
Sorry, what?
Fire.
And they just run away?
Depends how hungry they are. Generally, yes. The catch is down here is that fire is one of those things that tends to have unpleasant side effects.
Not if it's not real.
This is true. Can you make not real fire?
Holds up the hand, little ball of fire, puts other hand into it. Everyone else, it was close enough, felt warmth, heard crackling.
Yeah. Well,
probably help you see them as well.
Well, Mysel, from my perspective, you're a very young human child. So I'm not going to ask you to come stand in the middle of a battle with a whole bunch of mind-altering, blood-sucking monsters. On the other hand, I can't stop you from following me either because I'm very busy. And she will turn her chair and start heading towards the wall.
We don't need to be in the middle. There's a wall, you said. Oh.
Listen, kid, I would highly recommend against this. I am going back to the inn and I'm going to lock the door and read a book. This isn't our problem.
Well, it's going to be mine, isn't it? Marla, come back. Oh, and she'll walk off.
The people at the inn didn't have anyone but us. This town is protected.
Yeah. But I don't need to be involved. I can just make it easier for the other people.
Honestly, I don't know you from a piece of
old people dung.
You're meant to be here protecting Alexandria.
What?
Looks like, I don't know if I'm supposed to protect her. She looks like she can handle herself.
So maybe I misunderstood. I thought I remembered you saying that last week.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Okay, but you said something about being here because the song sent you.
His friend was the one who talked to the song. Mysel was sent to find you guys.
Okay.
Also,
as far as Spider's concerned, you're basically a replacement bodyguard sent by the song. He doesn't understand why that makes any sense, but he's willing to go with it for now. So
something about a mountaintop was more than convincing.
Your choice, princess. And yeah, Spider just starts walking back towards the inn.
I'm not princess. I thought we left this behind.
So good to see things getting back to normal in the group.
No, we did this already. Let it go.
Sorry, random Puck sighting in the background was great.
Hey, Puck.
Just kind of lollygagged from one side of the screen to the other, straight through your green screen. So,
Green screen is door.
yep, green
Why
screen.
go any other way? Green screen is door. Alexandre looks at the window that doesn't make sense. Kid. Is she still there? No.
So I'm just gonna say, so it's
Wherever Marla has gone, she's probably followed.
Yeah. And Spider's just gone. Is just going back to.
Yeah, I'm going back to our rooms.
Have we actually seen the defenses? Like, or even like, or it's just from like a distance?
all you know is that Mala was making her way to the northeast, along the main road to the northeast.
Alexandre follows. To the north.
So, as a reminder, this is a huge underground cavern that you're in. The ceiling is anywhere between, even here up on the top tier of the plateau. It's a stepped, a stepped plateau that you're on. The ceiling is anywhere upwards of 30 meters above your head. Right. Anything that is filled in with a really heavy gray color is literally just floor to ceiling solid rock. All right. So there are three substantial pillars that four substantial pillars, five. Yeah, call it five. If you include the two in the lake, there's this sort of crescent of five substantial stone formations that comes floor to ceiling, that sort of block the cavern off into two sides. So yeah, and then it isn't flat, by the way. It has been largely flattened on all three of the three levels by just constant use, right? People building buildings, moving things around, terracing stuff for properties, that sort of stuff. But generally speaking, there's always a slight incline to everywhere you're going. You're either going slightly uphill or slightly downhill all the time. The buildings are all level, the ground around them not necessarily, because, well, it's solid rock. So the roads are largely, like I say, wear and tear. Thousands of people walking for hundreds of years over the same roads. Eventually, it'll smooth itself out. You see that with ancient staircases and stuff, where the edges are all rounded off just by the action of leather-soled shoes, right? So, the whole place it's dark. Right. I mean, you've got your glasses on, so that's been substantially reduced. But the biggest single sources of light are what's coming out of the various houses, whose shutters are closing on the doors. Right. On the doors and windows are being shuttered up, so it's getting progressively darker and darker. Which means that the single biggest source of ambient light is the lawns, which are these the lawns and gardens, which are these various hues and collages of bioluminescent fungi and mosses and lichens. So you've got these carpets of glowing material, which are all sort of underlighting everything. Anywhere that there's a major intersection, there's going to be at least the equivalent of one street light or two, which is just a couple of these glowy crystals you see being used for utility, that are being used for utility lighting everywhere. They're almost invariably a deep red color or a deep purple color. Right. Some places, if it's a building that's got a yard around it, usually near the gate, if you will, leading into the yard. There are going to be a couple of smaller crystals, which will be pitching a whitish sort of light. As a reminder, Mala had explained to you that for the Ebon Elves, that's sort of a dead spot in the in their field of in their color spectrum. To them, that color doesn't come out like daylight; it comes out more like a fog gray color. So it's a very subdued, not very bright on the eyes. So it tends to get used a lot for essentially what amounts to be, night lighting, right? Don't bump into this. Anything you want people to not bump into while not glare blinding them tends to get used. But of course, for the topsiders and the skysiders in the group, it's a very comfortable sort of yellow-green spectrum, very sunny-like almost, which is just really weird because, like I say, you guys are seeing these little puddles of daylight, which are supposed to be these apparently incredibly mute reference, these don't bump intos. Sorry about that. So yeah, there's just very odd counter effect depending who, and it changes, by the way, if you've got your glasses on or not. If you put the glasses on, you see these sort of fog gray glows. You pull the glasses off, you see the puddles of daylight. So yeah, people are the tempo. I don't want to say excitement. It's not the right term, but the urgency, I think, is the best word, of people's movement is increasing as you folks are all standing out in the middle of the street having this discussion about what to do next. So yes, people are have gone from being, oh, fuck that again, to, oh, we should probably do something about this, to, oh, we're doing this now. And so, yes, as I say, shutters are being closed. It's very much like watching a town batten itself down for a coastal storm. Shutters are being closed, doors are being locked with it, and you can hear bars being dropped behind doors, that sort of thing. And as I say, that's cutting back on the ambient light coming out into the street fairly quickly. So it's getting progressively darker out where you're at. So is my soul wandering off after she who's wandering off after Mala, or what?
I'm looking like as she goes, he's sort of wanting to look back at the others, and he's just sort of like, well, I don't need to get involved.
Alexander,
So you just see if they're okay and help if I need to, and I can just come back if they don't need my help. And I can be pretty unnoticeable if I want to be.
Can you?
Yeah. It's more about making people not want to look at you.
Creepy. So creepy. So creepy. If you don't want me to think you're a creepy kid, you need to stop saying things like this.
Would you rather I lied?
No. Definitely not. Do not
Okay.
lie. No.
Then I might need to say things like that.
What if you just don't do things like that, and then you're not lying, but also you're not creepy?
But if I'm trying not to be noticed, I'd get noticed.
I'm uncomfortable.
Do you want to stay, or do you want to see if you can help?
I am going to try to help.
Okay, then I'll try and make it so they don't notice you either. I'm going to try invisibility on both of us.
Okay.
Which...
Tell me a mechanical story about invisibility there.
Mechanically, it's, depending if I get power level 5 or 6, it's advantage to hide and then bonuses to your guard for ranged and melee attacks, and a penalty to other people's guard who haven't noticed you. Narratively, it's kind of like obfuscate.
Yeah.
It's not really making you invisible, but people stop looking at you.
Alexander's not going to like that.
It is a sustain, and you are doing multi-target, I take it?
Yes.
All right. So
Which means I don't get that 8, which is a shame, but probably not matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So both Alexandre and Mysel have power level 6 invisibility, so advantage 5 to hide, plus 5 guard against ranged and melee attacks, and minus 4 guard to targets that can't see you.
Could you repeat that for me, please?
I will post it in the chat.
Advantage 5 to hide, plus 5 guard against ranged and melee attacks, and minus 4 guard for targets that haven't seen you.
Okay.
All right. So I think the first indication that perhaps this is not a drill is as you guys are heading along the lane to the northeast, and you're just passing. If you take a look at there's at the map, the upper terrace, if you will. The road slopes down, and the entire area has a wall around it, and what have you. And there are gates there. Those gates are still open. But as you're going, it basically to separate the upper town from the lower town. Those gates are still open. You can see people. Generally, basically, there's people in armor with weapons moving to the northeast, and people without weapons and armor moving towards the southwest. So it's kind of busy as you guys go through there. No one seems to have noticed you. But as you're passing through that gate, you're going to hear one god-awful whoomp sort of noise. And it's the unmistakable sound of an explosion of some kind. It's the dull, muted explosion of vapor igniting rapidly. It's not a gunpowder explosion. It's much more like fuel air. So there's a bag of flour or grain or something like that. You get this very dull whoomp as the air just simply refuses to get out of the way fast enough.
Is it distinctly different from hearing a thunderclap underground?
I'm going to. You are a fair distance away from that point, and heading in a different direction. But I'm going to say that no, it does not at all sound to Spider like thunder. It lacks the sharpness. You're about halfway back to the inn by comparison. You're just a couple of blocks away from the inn at this point. Because you said you're heading back to your room. And to the gang who are just heading down to who are heading toward in the direction of the fight, there's going to be a particularly acrid smell in the air. Now, are you guys actively trying to catch up with Mala, or are you just making your own way?
I am going at a begrudging pace. But I'm trying to, stay relatively close to Mala.
So you will find Mala standing not far from one of the towers at Lowtown in the northeast area. There ahead of you is a series of burned buildings. Those have been there all the time. Well, I don't all the times. I mean, they're a recent addition, 2 or 3 years ago. Those is when those buildings got burned. And Mala is sitting and just eyeing the road ahead. You can see an awful lot of activity directly further to the northeast. There is another wall and gate, and you can see obvious sign of battle going on at that gate. Mala has got probably a dozen or so other individuals around her. She's talking to someone who's semi-important. And they're based, and as you approach, and she's going to give you a little wave, and everyone will kind of look over at you and look back at her, at my sister. Oh, please come here. So yes, essentially, what you find yourself in the middle of is the usual aggravating thing that Mala has to put up with, being a local hero, which is that the people who are fully qualified to defend this town are trying to find out from Mala what it is they should do. So what she's doing is asking them, okay, so what would your normal plan be? And then listening to them and then saying, okay, so my idea is, and then reading them back their plan. And then they all feel better for some reason. Because
yes. Tell me the experience of being a woman. Yes.
I mean, wasn't gonna say it, but right.
I literally just saw the look in Shawnee's eye, and I was like, yes. Yes.
I mean, it's also, tell me what you'd like me as your psychologist to say.
Oh,
just
that I don't have experience in.
Just low key, it's also that. What would you say to someone else who wasn't you? That's what you should say to you. So look, you said it. Thank you. Good. I don't need to.
That is pretty much the literal definition of a consultant in the IT business.
I am a consultant.
Someone who you pay good money, that when you ask them what time it is, they look at your watch to give you an answer.
That's about right. That is in fact about right. How am I supposed to feel about that? I don't know. If you were telling someone that's not me, how would you feel about that? There's your answer.
All right. So now that the plan has been discussed and everyone is very happy with the plan, because the local hero has told them the plan that they had to start with, everyone is in the process of doing things like setting up barricades and getting weapons readied up and that sort of thing, and keeping a very strict eye on the gate up ahead, on the wall and the gate up ahead. So right about
the battle going on there.
Yes, there was obviously a battle. You can see figures on the wall top, shooting down into it. You can see spells being cast and that sort of thing. The odd crackle of lightning and that kind of thing. Electrical spells and stuff. So about this point in time is going to be when Alexandria and Mysel will arrive to find sort of the opposite of the scene that she had arrived on, which is Mala just kind of heavy crossbow in hand, pointing up at the cavern roof, staring intently at the wall and gate across the gap. And a tremendous amount of activity, people setting up barricades, moving, basically the equivalent of hay bales, only it's sort of a lichen moss mixture, to set things to create a bit of some obstructions coming up the slope and things like that. There's a few guards who are moving, there's a group off to a side, who are basically drawing straws, and then the half dozen losers grab their weapons and move down into the burned buildings.
How wide is the space that, assuming they get through, they'd have to come up?
All right. I think, okay, so the distance of the actually, just let me check that. As opposed to guessing, I've got the map. I've got the master copy right here in front of me. Always measure it. I think 20 meters. The gap would be about 20 meters across, I think. But let me just double check that. So is it here?
Alexandria's intention for this entire thing is just to heal people and cast restoration on anyone that looks fatigued.
Right, makes sense to me.
and that, depending on how much into this we get, that's basically it for her.
So from corner to corner, or the inside corner to inside corner of the two towers, there is just a smidge more. Is just about 20 meters, and then from the base of the terrace, where it basically goes flat with the cavern floor to the gate, directly across the way, is about 100 meters. To give you an idea. All right.
Cool.
So what Mala will explain is it's highly unlikely they'll make it over that wall. But if they do, then this sort of becomes the point to stop them from getting into the town proper. Because of some dumb design, I can't easily get up on that wall. And I can't easily get back down off that wall. So the smartest thing for me is to post up here and take advantage of this. She points at the heavy crossbow, and the fact that it's going to take them several seconds to cross that gap. I can do an awful lot of damage in that time. So
this probably drop invisibility as we approach, so we're not just like surprise to the loaded crossbow wielding Mala.
Wait, hang on. Did Alexandria and Meisel just become spy kids? It just occurred to me.
Yeah.
It's my dream.
That makes she Antonio Banderas.
Oh god. Yes, it does.
Good.
I'm not going to think too hard about that. I'm just going to say yes, because that sounds great.
I don't know how much I accept it, but I can't change it, so...
Banderas in the skirt? Yeah, okay.
Just accept Antonio Banderas into your heart.
I'm trying to work out if that makes me Alan Cumming or Danny Trejo.
Ooh.
How about both?
Viendo los dos.
Hey, I'm supposed to be Antonio Banderas.
And now I can only imagine the Velbodran as Tony Shalhoub, which is like, that's a jump to make.
They can look like anyone, though, so...
That's
I
true.
mean, if we're going to the whole franchise, it could be Sylvester Stallone.
Just look.
Yep. Okay.
No, sorry. The Vertebradran are the thumb people.
Oh my goodness, they are.
Are they more or less scary now?
I have both.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously Mala is intently watching. Is there anyone else who's clearly it seems like that's their assigned job, is to be like
a couple of dozen people here, basically, literally, whose job is setting up and preparing to defend this gate. Because the problem is it's not a gate; it's a choke point.
Yeah.
It's between two towers, and the walls are lined. There are folks up on top of the towers. There are a few people who are obviously spellcasters based on their dress, who are basically in the process doing the equivalent of cracking their knuckles and and going into the wind up with significant amounts of magical energy. You're going to see that entire gate back there get lit up in a brilliant flash again, and you're going to hear that loud whoomp. And again, you'll hear that remarkably acrid smell will reach your nose after a few moments.
Meisel sort of like, makes himself known to Mala, and it's just like,
oh, what a surprise.
Did you want help seeing them?
She pauses. The usual problem isn't seeing them when they're running across that gap. That's the easy part. It's when they get on this side of the wall that things get crazy. They tend not to be able to just randomly change their appearance. They have to see something that they want to look like. So the usual tactic is they'll get to she kind of waves her hand to draw a line about a dozen meters ahead of you. When they can start seeing us, then they'll start looking like us, and that's what causes the confusion.
Still be useful to highlight them,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
and then we can do something with fire.
I
Okay,
could
just
suggest that we shut off the wall. Is there a reason why? Like, is the wall going to collapse, or
no. It is just the catch. One of the defenders over there, they'll just simply crawl over the wall and start coming this way.
oh well, we can. I mean, we could make things to stop them from crawling over the wall.
All right, so just possibly Michelle isn't being clear here. So just take a quick look at the map. If you see the area, of course I can't really ping it for you, but you've got there's a trio of burned out buildings and a little what looks to be a triangular split in the road to the northeast. Yep. Okay. Just up ahead of that, there's a section of wall that closes the gap between one of the vertical pillars and the cavern wall. That is where the battle is currently taking place.
Gotcha.
You guys are down by the where the first escarpment is that comes up into the town. So there are a bunch of professional soldiers who are currently fighting a pitched brawl over the ownership of that gate wall. Right? The concern is if the Velbadran get over that wall, they will run up and then essentially be poised to enter the town itself. So the idea is to stop them from getting there. Now the gap between the two towers that you guys are standing between is what did I say, 20 meters across. So there are some impromptu barricades being set up, carts being moved into position, hay bales being stacked, that sort of thing. But essentially it is more to slow them down as opposed to stop them. The way you stop them is just killing as many of them as basically stopping them from entering the town proper by simply killing them all.
Gotcha. And for Nadine's sake, for not knowing Open Legends very well, when I create something using creation, say I want to create a tangle of roots, yes. Is that going to take a long time?
It is, unless the spell specifically says how much time it takes, an action is the narratively appropriate amount of time.
It depends. Are you looking to create something permanent or something non-permanent?
It's also if you're literally creating the thing, or is it then how you're narratively doing a boon or a bane?
I mean, There's a boon called Barrier, and if you try to target it in a particular area.
Yeah. Now, for example, if what you want to do is use creation and make a hawthorn hedge appear in front of them, then it's literally whatever it is the rules for the creation boons.
It would be a barrier, or it would be that thing that Alexandri's been using. What's the word?
Yeah, creation allows you to create a small thing.
Gotcha.
It's more like building walls, and then you just narratively flavor what the wall looks like.
Cool. All right.
And
I have to look further into my boons.
And the indication time is one major action, so an appropriate amount of hand waving and jalapeno butter sandwiching.
Gotcha.
Genesis.
Genesis,
the boon.
Once Marlo said that she'd be okay with Mysol helping her see them better, she starts seeing better. She gets true sight.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. All right. So, what's essentially going to happen is about 5 minutes of absolute bloody chaos at that far wall. There's going to be an awful lot of spells going off. There's going to be obviously people falling backwards off of the wall with nothing to catch them. There is going to be one moment where there's going to be obviously hand-to-hand combat happening atop the wall. And then it all just seems to stop. There's you can see the defenders up on the wall keeping an eye on everything. There's still some shooting and stuff going on, but but it seems to be that the defenders have won and that the Velbadran have called off their attack. And like I say, it takes about 5 minutes, which is in combat terms a hell of a long time, right? 5 minutes of absolute pitched battle. And then Mala is going to look over at Mysel and say, "But what exactly did you cast on me?"
Oh, I guess I kind of gave.
Let me
It's
rephrase. What should I expect to see?
I kind of gave you an enhanced version of how I see. So you'll see, I guess, kind of the ripples of effects. So because the Velbadran have magic all over them, you'll see the ripples of the magic. It'll be very obvious to someone who doesn't have that.
Perfect. Thank you, Mysel. That's going to prove incredibly valuable. And she's immediately going to set off down the road and across the field, heading towards the far wall.
Mysel grins at the other two.
Alexandra
Oh my god, it's smiling.
He's
Alexandra,
normally smiling.
he hasn't stopped.
He just doesn't blink. No, that's not. No. I just saw Chantel's reaction. I was like, no, that's not true.
We go. Jans.
Alexandra is following and going to immediately start trying to heal people.
Oh, okay.
Like, just gonna snipe heal. You get some healing, and you get some healing. And you. It's basically what her intention is.
Oh, perfect.
We might want to confirm they're not Velbadran first.
Well, and that's actually as basically she is keeping very obviously keeping an eye on everyone coming down the ladders off the wall, and just glancing at everyone. And there's a couple moments she'll do a double take and stare at someone, and then go okay back, and then keep basically going back and forth over everyone, essentially making sure that no one's that one bad guy hasn't snuck into the lot, right?
I'm more meant the ones that had fallen backwards.
Yeah.
That she's like, if you're alive, how about I try to help?
Yeah. So
No, I understand your foot isn't supposed to go that way. Just don't look at it while I heal it.
I'll just grow you a new foot.
On top of the other foot?
No, the other one's gonna fall off.
Oh.
It's what I do.
She does that. I shout at it until it gets better.
We all have our ways.
I have Band-Aids.
What's a band-aid?
What are those?
Holds up first aid gear.
This is ingenious.
Self-adhesive plasters. What a grand idea. Why didn't we think of this? With all this magic, why didn't we think of it? So yes, there's going to the good news is that thus far everything seems to be okay. No sneakies that Mala is able to identify with her true sight. There are an awful lot of very seriously injured individuals, and there are a few who are just not coming back from those injuries. It was not free to defend the wall, and at the point several of the Velbadran had actually gotten to the top of the wall, it got ugly. But it's. I don't want to say this is normal. I think the better way of putting it is everyone is sort of resigned to that. This is just the cost of being here. And so, there's an awful lot of upset and sad looking faces. People have lost friends and that sort of thing. But there are many more, I'm so glad you're still here moments as people are coming down off the wall and looking for their friends and that sort of thing. And, or finding one of you two being one of the, amongst the group of healers who are moving amongst the injured and, helping. And so you're probably each going to be thanked a couple of times as a minimum of, oh, thank you so much for helping my friend, right? So it takes about 10 minutes to mop up the mess of the 5-minute fight. And then, you're all going to find it fairly hard to breathe around here, by the way. There's a lot of some kind of a heavy soot in the air. Just kind of, my tongue. It's got that, smog coating your tongue sort of feeling.
Are you saying it's like a fart bomb?
No worse, honestly.
Oh.
An awful lot more sulfur in the mix. Yeah. So, but yeah, and then it's quote over. Malo will look at all of you and personally thank you, including Yushi for having helped. I know this isn't your thing, he says. And
You mean
I know
the fart smell? No, not really.
Plenty of it.
Though I am used to yours.
Mysel giggles.
You're not the one who's got to sleep in the same room you do. So, but yeah, all joking aside, thank you. We've been, particularly you two, you say, looking at Alexandria and Mysel. It would have been perfectly okay if you just gone to your room and locked the door like I told you to do. But
you were able to help.
Yes, you were. All right, let's get back to the inn. I'm thirsty. And with that, she's going to turn around and head off back the way you guys came.
She is going to know that this is going to happen. She's going to hop on the back of her wheelchair and not walk. Constantly walking after that girl.
There's going to be the usual snide sisterly comment about if you're going to ride back there, you're going to have to lose weight.
Remember, it's genetics.
Alexandria's just going to walk because there are only so many segways available.
We'll segue back to the inn. So yeah, when Jake comes back, we'll include him in the fun and games. But yes, so you guys will head back to the inn. Essentially, as you're going up the hill that you guys came down just a few moments ago, they'll be in the process of dismantling the barricades they'd hastily assembled. Everyone's in the process of putting the defenses away and that sort of thing. Mala will make a passing comment that kind of unusual. That's twice in a month that this has happened, based on what one of the other defenders had told her.
Twice in a month.
Yeah, it usually happens about once a month apparently, but this apparently the second time it's happened.
That's odd.
Well, yeah. It's essentially the some people who are much smarter than I am and who have far more courage than brains have spent some time actually snooping around the hive and studying what goes on out there and somehow not dying. And it seems to have something to do with the reproductive cycle of the velvet round. Essentially, they have the phrase I keep hearing is a hatching. And so there's a bunch of them who come scrambling out in all their eagerness, awfully hungry. Not very bright, but awfully motivated.
Just out of curiosity, who was here first?
Oh, that's a funny question. She says, "You guys are arriving at the inn, basically at this point, coming into the ground floor, um, and the town is slowly going back to normal. So shutters are opening, doors are being unbolted, so you guys are actually able to get in. Mala will immediately call for a pitcher of mulled wine, and some snacks to eat. Casting hungry work. And so while she's sipping at her wine, she's going to be considering. I mean, I'm not entirely sure the answer to that question. Oh, allow me to rephrase. I know what the history books say, but I also know that history is written by victors. So officially, we were here first, but yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, I mean, the Ebon Elf history is literally one of fleeing the surface and taking up and learning to live underground in the underworld. So I don't know. How first do you mean by first? Do you mean first or first before that? She chuckles.
I suppose I mean first. Did they decide to put a city here, and the hive was just happened to be there, or did the hive start because of them?
The official story, as I know it, is that this place was here before the hive took root. But because of a couple of very, very messy wars that have gone on between the various enlightened, powerful, and benevolent houses that absolutely love to control this place, they provided all of the necessary cannon fodder for the hive.
So they fed the hive by having war here.
Yeah. So that is part of the reason this place remains, and has been for over 20 years now, neutral territory.
Because of the hive.
It's an odd place in many respects. It's one of the only places officially that, family politics isn't a thing. She shrugs. Yeah, I mean, the town is roughly divided into 3 political camps. But officially, none of them are. Officially, there's only one that matters.
Which one?
The ones that aren't in any political camp. She laughs.
I see. I should probably let Spider know that we're back.
Yeah, the wine's good. You don't want him missing that.
Spider doesn't drink, but I'll tell him anyway. She goes and knocks on Spider's door.
Oh,
we're back.
Anything dramatic happen?
A lot of things were dramatic, but none of them that hurt us.
Okay.
Are you going to stay in there?
Spider opens the door. Have the sisters made a decision?
No, not well. I haven't asked.
I'll have a word to them later. I'm just in the middle of something.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Well, we're out here drinking.
Okay.
If you
don't drink too much, I guess.
No.
And don't let the kid have any alcohol. That's not a good idea.
I didn't think about that.
So, Meisel, do you drink?
Like in general, or alcohol?
He doesn't blink.
I
Why
feel
would
like
he
because of
drink?
that answer, I definitely shouldn't give you some wine.
That's fair.
So, how old are you?
12.
That is very young. I'm very glad I did not give you wine. Mala, you almost let me give this kid wine. Jesus. I was about to say Jesus. Jesus it doesn't exist.
Maul is going to look at you. Like, keep in mind that, we weren't much older than him when we started getting wine at the table.
But we are broken.
Yes, but other than that.
You're not
Maybe
broken.
That's true. Are you broken?
Am I broken?
You're kind of broken, or are you broken? You are broken. You're broken?
I guess so. Yeah, probably.
I mean, you can't remember where you were, so probably.
Well, that's all right.
That was a weird answer, but okay, I accept it.
Alexander
I-
gets back.
I'm not good at explaining it. My friend is better.
What does your friend look like?
Oh, he likes that to be a surprise.
Okay. Listen, Meisel, we're going to work on something. And that something is how to sound less creepy. Okay. It begins now with things like that. That
Write one for this lecture. I'm really not.
okay. So your friend is shy, doesn't like to be seen.
No, it's hard to explain. And like I said, he explains it better than I do.
Are we going to?
We were in danger.
No, we weren't.
Technically.
Yeah, sure.
Where was your friend?
Not well. He's very much looking like he's struggling to find the right words.
Okay, I was
Like
about to ask.
he's not being deceptive. He's legitimately struggling to find the right way to describe it and not coming up with much.
Okay.
So your friend was and wasn't there.
Yes. No? Kind of.
Your friend was sort of, kind of there and also not there.
Yes.
Has anyone other than you seen your friend?
Yes.
Who?
Lots of people. He's very old.
Right.
Have other people seen your friend in the same way that you do?
You mean like literally or metaphorically?
Maul is at this point snickering out loud.
Because if you mean literally, then yeah, you see him. And then, but I guess if you mean the way I see him, no, not for a long time.
My brain hurts.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That is okay.
I don't mean to be confusing.
No, I get it. I don't get. Honestly, this is better than when she told me she heard songs and that's what gave her powers. So it's fine, really. I'm just trying to understand and help you help us, I guess.
When
I appreciate that.
you see us differently.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yes. So
in that, and like points at eyes.
yes, I understand that. What I mean is you
In
don't
the top, I'm blind.
you don't you don't see us.
That may be exactly where this idea came from.
Amazing.
What I mean is you come up with other words to describe what we look like or who we are or whatever it is you're expected to see.
Yes. I probably better to say perceive.
Okay, so
Maybe.
how do you perceive your friend?
Oh, I
Like a really big.
don't.
You two are hysterical, says Mala. You're sitting here trying to rationalize the perception of a blind 12-year-old kid and make it fit your personal worldview. For all you know, his friend is in the room and is a 22-foot tall pink penguin that you just can't see. She's a sip of her wine.
Honestly, I'm just trying to find out if your friend is real, like corporeal, or in your imagination. Like I am fully supportive of both. I'm just
still not sure if you're real.
I guess you could argue it is both.
What?
Sometimes.
somehow worse.
I'm sorry. Like I said, he's better at explaining it. He remembers it better than I do.
So your friend is both real and not real.
Sorry. Wait, remembers what?
The answers to your questions. Well, like he knows the answers to the questions better than I know. I don't
Okay, it's
remember.
just you
I'm good
said
at knowing
remember.
things, just sometimes I don't remember why I know them. And then sometimes I don't. There are gaps.
Right. No, of course, that makes sense.
How far back do you remember?
Oh,
3 days ago, right?
No, before, like,
No.
just how far back do you remember, just in general? Like, what do you do you remember being born? Do you remember before that? What do you remember?
No, I don't remember being born, but I don't know. I don't know what my oldest memory would be.
Okay,
I don't know how I would prove that how old it was be either.
Okay, well,
That's fair.
do you have a family? Did you ever have a family?
Yes, for a little while.
Where did you get the clothes
Well, they're mine.
from?
Had them for a while.
Did you just find them somewhere?
I bought them
You bought
from a
them?
shop.
You bought those. Someone sold you that.
Yeah, a while ago.
Okay. Yeah, Alexandria, that's just rude.
Okay, we have to shop.
You cannot see the clothes. Why would they matter?
Because nobody should sell clothes that bad.
In your opinion? I think you
all.
look very fashionable.
I mean, they do what they're meant to do.
I'm sure they do
Clothe
what
your body.
they're meant
Yes.
to do, but I mean, as someone that does not perceive the way you perceive, they could be better.
Are you saying that he should conform to the way that you perceive things? Because that's not very nice.
No, I'm saying that
She makes a good point. Fashion changes very quickly, and it's hard to keep up
does.
with.
I'm the one that makes fashion. It's not hard to keep up with at all.
But what if I'm not here? What if I'm somewhere else? The fashion here is different from the fashion in like the Deliverance.
If you're anywhere near me, you're in fashion, which is why we need to get you new clothes.
But he's near you, so he wouldn't need to be in fashion.
That's not accurate.
It's just what you said.
I mean, I understand. I just think it's going to be. I mean, if it makes you happy, that's fine.
Mala at this point is working on her second glass of malt wine and snickering almost uncontrollably.
No, the jacket is somewhat protective.
The jacket is protective. Why is it too big for you?
Because I'm small.
Well, then it's not.
Okay. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Where did you buy it?
What does that matter?
Because it's a memory.
Oh,
Sure, I think there are multiple memories that could be more important than when he
Absolutely,
where
but
he bought this.
doesn't remember them. I want to know if he has any memories older than 3 days. That jacket
Okay,
was
do you
not
have?
bought 3 days
Ask that
ago.
question. Ask that question. Have you got any memories of before 3 days ago?
I think I got it in Silver Flame.
Where's that?
What's in the Deliverance of Dawn?
Where the hell is that?
Wait, you're from
It's one of the
Deliverance?
3 main places.
Would I guess
Also,
I
the
would
only
know,
other
but
one that had a
general
capital I could
history.
easily find the name of.
Nice. Nice.
Is that where you're from? Or just where you have been?
It's where I got the jacket.
How long ago?
Oh,
If you say 4 days, I have a problem.
no, it was a while ago.
You can't be mad.
Let's see.
That's longer than 3 days.
All is going to lean over to Meisel and say, I'll buy you a really yummy dessert if you say you remember it 5 days ago.
That is tempting, but not true. It'd be years. It'd definitely be years, I think, since I've been to Silver Flame. Yeah.
That is also now my geography is rough, but that is a long way away from where this
Yes.
place is.
It's a very, very long way.
I travel a lot.
Yes.
Been all over.
You've said.
And how do you? I don't want to assume that you walk everywhere. How do you travel?
Well, sometimes I if it's just me, I'm usually just walking. But sometimes my friend takes me, and he's faster.
How?
Okay.
How much faster?
Well, he can fly.
What?
He can fly.
He can
We are
fly.
learning
Your
things
friend-
about your friend.
It makes it you go more directly.
Can fly.
Yeah.
Your friend
friend
can fly.
fly.
So okay, we're getting somewhere. Your friend can fly. How does your friend fly underground? Because you got here.
Well, he flies
3
anywhere
days ago.
there's space.
What kind of a
I'm
question
sorry.
is
Wait,
that,
wait,
Alexandra?
wait. What did you just say?
I mean, you can fly as long as there's enough space. The ceiling is pretty high.
Anything can fly here. I can fly here. I have flown here.
Yes, but not from
Um,
Skyside.
I could fly from Skyside down here.
Could you?
Alexandra,
Yes, I fly into the elevator. I stay in the elevator. I go down in the elevator. I start flying again.
In 3 days.
Alexandra, says Mala, I deeply appreciate your existential crisis, but the name of the city he quoted in Deliverance of the Dawn, I'm pretty sure is not an Ebon Elf name. And so it's probably Skyside. And the last I remember of looking at your sky, it's got a really high ceiling.
Yes, I understand that. My
No, she's
concern-
confused how we got underground so quickly.
Yes.
I wasn't.
I'm flying very quickly.
Well,
But
if
it
I
doesn't
had to
remember.
guess, I assume the song did something. Because it does seem very fast.
Okay. Your song
And
is
I-
very scary, and I don't like it.
But I don't know if that's actually the case.
If it is, then I have a lot of questions about why I'm traveling by foot.
Wait, you can't fly?
That's a good point.
I can fly.
Good for
My
you.
friend can fly.
Good for you.
Do you need a book, maybe? Did you how to fly?
We went to the archive. There was no book on flight.
We read 3 books. I'm sure there's books on flight.
I think the only books that could have told me only wanted to talk to you.
That's fine. I am great conversation.
That's not what
He's
they
like a
said.
book as well. That's what I get the impression.
You're like a book.
Yeah.
Closed.
I'm laughing.
No,
She
it's-
isn't laughing.
No, it's turning.
Okay. We'll go back to the creepy thing later. It's fine.
I mean, it was quite interesting to me. It was very different from the other 3.
I appreciate that. I do like being different.
What? No. No, others. What's others three?
Well, you and Marla and Jasper were a bit
Oh.
more clear cut, I guess.
You can see she is like actually trying to cover her smug face.
Oh, congratulations. You're hard to describe for a 12-year-old creepy kid.
I mean, the
I'm
creepy
glad you
kids
feel
saw right
happy.
through you.
Oh, it's very difficult to do when you have the songs that is in my head tell you what to look for.
Well, I didn't see the song,
No, but you
but
were
I was
told.
given a description. You're right.
Yes. So
Look like you have a question.
I do. I always have a question.
That is true.
When do we get to meet your friend?
Well, I probably shouldn't do it in the city. He doesn't like cities, or the cities don't like him, I guess.
What do you
He sort
mean?
of grins to himself. It's like a personal joke.
So how far away from the city do we have to be? Is it like just outside the city limits? Because we can do that.
Well,
Or does he prefer a little bit of seclusion?
I guess initially it'd be better with a bit of seclusion. It can be a little surprising.
Okay. Why don't we go to the lake? That's a way,
Still in the city.
I guess.
So we have to leave.
I mean, we're leaving soon anyway, aren't we?
Oh, that's a good point. Spider asked whether you've made the decision. We can't hear you. Oh, you're muted, Michelle.
Marla will look over. It's been 20 minutes? Besides, I already said yes. The question's if she's going.
Yeah, I definitely thought your fight on the walls was way longer than that. This
No,
conversation's also been like half an hour, so
that doesn't. I was just going to say, it doesn't mean Marla's right. It means Marla said something.
okay.
Like,
The same way that she is like, it's been 5 hours since I've had, I don't know, read another book. Who knows?
It's been 500 years.
It's been 84 years.
1,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. All right. So yeah. You know, Maul is going to kind of look up at the ceiling for a moment, have another sip of her wine. If the family wants me to escort you as far as your destination, well, of course I'm going to do that. I can completely understand that she might not want to do that, but I mean, creepy kid and everything, right? All chuckles as though she's laughing at some other joke. So yeah, I can't see why I wouldn't go unless you folks basically tell me you'd rather go with somebody else. I mean, I'll respect that. I know I'm not the easiest person to travel with.
I think you're a breeze in comparison to me, hey?
I didn't say that out loud.
Yeah, I heard it in your head.
You both seem real nice to me.
Thank you, Maisel.
You don't know them yet.
I think I don't think you'd want me to come. So, in that case, I'll leave you here, I guess.
Well, in case you're getting that vibe from me, I'd much rather you came, but it's
No,
up
I
to
know
you.
you would like me to come. Of course. Blame my mistakes on me, which it makes sense because I would make the mistakes. Anyway, not you. I just think you would probably be better just with Spider and the Meisel.
You are not.
And she's like not looking at Alexandra.
You're not the reason any of what happened. You know that.
Yes?
That sounds like you're lying. Are you lying?
No?
Is
I
that a lie?
think, I guess you're kind of getting better at it. I'm being a little confusing. I know that it wasn't my fault. That doesn't mean that I don't feel partially to blame.
It's up to you whether you come with us or not.
Here, we'll go to sleep tonight. And if I want to come, you'll see me here bright and early. And if I don't, then you'll continue on your very slow, not flying journey.
Okay.
And she'll say, it'll be like an exaggerated, it's not even like my time yet. And she'll be like, oh, I'm kind of pooped. I think I'm going to go to my tent.
It's tent time.
Think I'll enjoy it before Marla stinks it up.
Remarkably fantastic actress. I've never seen such a convincing display in
I
my
know
life.
it's pretty good. Thank you. I hope you bring my award when you come up to the tent. And show you table.
Okay. Paul is going to watch she leave and then kind of look over. Is Spider is or is not at the table?
No, I think it's just him.
Yeah, I haven't been anywhere near any of this conversation.
I mean, obviously, if you want to get involved, feel free to just have your scroll down. But
I would.
it's once she is sort of out of sight and up around the corner, heading upstairs to the common room. Paul is going to rub at her forehead and shouldn't have brought her, I suppose. I keep hoping that that one of these days she'll see what it is I see in all this, but it's just not her thing. And now she's probably going to feel guilty for what happened for at least probably not the rest of her life, but it's going to be unfortunate for her. Should have known better.
Why is she here?
Because I nagged her into coming.
I mean, you couldn't have known. And feeling guilty just means she cares. And that's not a bad thing.
That's a very good point, Meisel. She's going to pause. She's going to look at Weissel for a moment. 12, you say, or 21?
12.
So it's not 200.
Definitely 12.
Okay.
Human 12?
Human 12.
That is a valid question. Gesturing at her ears.
There's definitely kind of like a resignation, but it's not like at the question. Like he's not, there's no like frustration from the question, but it is just kind of like, yep, that's true. That is the case.
There are moments, Meisel, you are wise beyond your years. I hope it continues for you. Yeah. I can completely understand how she feels at the reason of losing anybody. I won't say I've gotten numb to it. But it's an easy trap to fall into, you know, the entire idea of acceptable losses. I try and avoid it.
I don't think it's something anyone should get used to.
Anyway, I liked it better when we were laughing at Meisel being creepy. Continue being creepy, she says, as a single one.
Oh, I don't think that'll be hard.
Excellent news.
Creepy kids say what? I'll be right back.
Sure.
And Alexandria is gonna go knock on a tent.
Sure. So, this particular place is about half again the size in terms of square footage of the other place you were in over at Fickle Waters. So the common room is actually 2 floors here. And then the floor above that is, so you've got the main floor, which is which is essentially the pub and restaurant part of the place, with a couple of the crystal fireplaces for hanging out around and telling stories and that sort of thing. All kinds of tables sort of done in concentric circles around that, with one end being where the food and drink come from, and a pair of spiral staircases that lead upwards, and they go through 3 more floors. So it's a fairly tall building in point of fact. And that the first 2 floors above the main floor are, quote, common room, which is where all the tents are. The tent rooms are, and then the floor above that is the much more conventional, Skysider styled private rooms kind of places, right? So yeah, so it takes a few minutes of poking around before we find the one that's got their 2 names on it.
Oh, there are names on them, thank goodness.
Yes, because there's no room numbers. It doesn't make any sense. It's tent number 27. No, literally, you just get a little. Basically, there's literally a chalkboard hanging on the wall outside. And you just scratch your name on it. So if anyone's looking for you to deliver a message or whatever, they know what tent they know what tent to bother. As opposed to waiting in the damn room. Is John here? That at 2:00 in the morning, that gets irritating. So, yeah.
I think you'll hear Alexandra will hear from behind her. You knocking on a tent door? She's holding like a mug and a jug of water.
Yes?
Why would you knock on a tent door?
You don't... How else am I supposed to...
Renee, I'd like to talk to you. It's a tent.
Well, it got your attention.
Yeah.
It did what I was trying to do. So does it matter?
Hmm. Did you want to come in?
I wanted to. Yes.
Okay. So she'll like pull open the tent door, and I'm sure there are like some lounging pillows or something.
Sorry, I
I
missed that.
assume that's a yes. You were muted.
The room basically, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's got two Cleopatra style couches, which are kind of curved. Those are the actual beds, and then essentially the floor is just basically a pile of the equivalent of thick of thick pillows that have thick quilts tossed on top of them for just flopping out on.
Nice.
There's pretty much exactly enough space by the front door that you can walk in, pull your boots off, and then either dive into the pillow heap or crawl up onto your side of the onto whichever one of the two beds in there you want to stay on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's a couple of small foot locker kind of things to stash stuff in.
Nice. Just kind of take off her shoes, put the jug down and the mug down on like a mini table, and she'll kind of like make sure that Alexandria's taking off her shoes as well.
Yes.
And then kind of just lounge back on her pillow. What do you want to talk about?
Ranamala said that you didn't want to come on the journey at all, and that she made you or pushed you to.
A little bit of advice. Take anything that starts with the sentence Ranamala said with a grain of salt. No, she didn't make me, I guess. She asked me. But no, I didn't want to be here.
I'm sorry.
Why would you say you're sorry?
Because you should only be in places that you want to be in.
You're not wrong.
And I know what it is like not to necessarily have entirely chosen what it is you're doing or where you're going.
Okay, we'll definitely touch back on that because you're opening up to me and I like that, and I think I want to go back to that. But I don't want you to mistake the fact that I'm slightly unhappily here for me not choosing to be here. I wanted the experience. Marla is well versed, to say the least. It's a proud lineage our family have, and she's the best of the best. I'm not necessarily as good as her, and I wanted to see if I could be.
And what do you think now?
Do you want the cocky answer or the honest answer?
The honest answer?
No, I couldn't be very good at it at all.
What's the cocky answer?
Yes, I'd be very good at it.
So one of them's just a lie.
No,
Why?
I'd be very good at it. Doesn't mean that I would enjoy myself or that it would end well.
But you said it would. You gave opposite answers, and they're both true.
People are complex. Let's go back to you opening up. What didn't you choose? I mean, I guess you didn't choose any of this, but are you happy on the journey? Sorry, that's a stupid question. Your friend died. All right. Okay. Do you at least feel fulfilled getting more answers about the song? I fucked this up. You were opening up to me and now you're going to close off. It's going to be bad. All right.
I don't know.
Okay. I guess that's an answer.
I mean, what is fulfilled?
Do you feel less alone
What?
in yourself?
What?
Do you feel more clear in yourself?
No, I'm more confused every day.
But are you getting more answers?
Yes, that's why I'm more confused every day.
Do you feel like you're getting closer to more answers?
Yes, but it's like it's like I'm here and they're just there.
But at the beginning, you were further away?
At the beginning, I was further away, but I couldn't see them. Now I'm close enough to see them, but not clearly. So
But you're closer. You
yes,
can be
but
fulfilled and frustrated at the same time.
that doesn't make sense.
Nothing does. Alexandri, nothing does.
I want things to make sense.
What do you want to know?
A lot of things.
What is the main thing you want to know? Like, if there's a list, what's at the top of the list?
I want to know how my family is. And I want to know whether I'll go home. And I want to know whether or not La Chanson has a body. And I want to know.
Okay, these are lots of things at the top of your list.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you come here?
La Chanson said to.
No, I meant the tent.
Oh. Because I think that you are going to decide whether or not you should stay with the group because of me.
No. Though I'm sure that would stroke your ego.
No.
It's about me.
No, it would make me feel bad.
Oh, well, then in that case, Don't feel bad.
Can I feel a little bad?
You've had a lot of shit happen to you. I think you can feel bad.
Okay. Well, I am glad. And if both things are true, that you could be good at it and not good at it at the same time, maybe you should try it because you don't know.
Renee, she will give her a coin.
Thank you.
I can't decide. And she produces another coin. And she says, so let's let luck decide.
So you're going to flip a coin?
Why not?
Okay.
You flip, I flip. If it lands two the same, I stay. If it's different, I go.
Alex,
I guess it's D4s. I guess D4s.
Alexandre doesn't know the fact that that is weighted in one direction. That is a weighted decision.
Heads and tails, you lose.
So
yeah,
2 of the same number. Is that what you're saying? 2 of the same number. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, 2 of evens or
2 of evens, 2 of odds.
Yeah. And if it's odd even, then
okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
even.
Even. I rolled a 4.
I got a 4 too.
Okay, so the dice decided.
Okay.
Okay.
I stay.
Okay. I'm gonna leave now.
Yes.
What does that mean? Because go and stay could mean either. I know.
I stay with the party or I go back home.
That's what I thought you meant, but like as I was going through it, I'm like, this is not any clearer.
Alexandre understood, and that's the important thing, right?
Yes.
Or at least Alexandre understood what she wanted to understand. It's like every other question ever.
The trick there is that if it had been the other result, it means that she's going to go with the party. And rather than stay in town.
Heads I win, tails you lose. Yeah.
Oh no.
Also, I've seen a bunch of like whether or not a character stays with the party be determined by dice rolls, but never like that. That was kind of amazing.
All right.
Yeah. Alexandre awkwardly leaves.
Alexandre awkwardly. Yep, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, there it is. Alexandre awkwardly.
That should be the title of the blog. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to take a break. And I'm going to leave it to the players to decide while they're all refilling their coffee mugs or their gin glasses or whatever, as to if they want to time skip ahead to the next morning, or if there's a scene that needs to, another scene that needs to happen this afternoon, this evening, game time.
If Jast was still up, it might be nice to have a conversation between him and Meisel.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We will schedule that as the next thing that happens when we come back from the break. All right,
Yeah.
folks. So yeah, whatever you want to there, Chantel, press.
I forgot that I was dead. For a second there, I was like, so who does this again? It's me. All right.
Oh, right, I'm not the one with the button.
Okay, bye. And we're back. Ah, we're back, but only stream could hear that. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
That awkward silence caused by no one knowing they're supposed to speak yet.
Ah, yes.
So there's happiness in a cup.
Is that a hot chocolate?
No, actually, it's a green tea mixed with ginseng and lemon that I then add all of the honey to.
Very nice.
It's pretty much sunshine in a cup.
Andy.
I do like sunshine, and I do like cups.
Yeah, it's a good combo. It works very well. All right. So, hey, Great Mustache, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Gia.
Hey.
So, apparently there's going to be another creepy moment. Role play moment between. So, set the scene for us. Is Mysel looking for spider, or is it the other way around?
I spotted this. Like, does Spider have is in a room, or is does he have a tent, and is that just where he's been?
He's in a room. Yeah.
Mars probably just knocks on the door.
Yeah. When you approach the door, you can hear like a soft, it sort of sounds like a slightly metallic tapping sound, or like almost like two rocks banging against each other lightly. Oh, who is it?
It's me. It's me. Mysel.
Right. Everything all right, kid?
Yeah. I wanted to talk, I guess.
Yeah, the door's open. I can't. Can you let yourself in?
Okay. And he does.
Yeah. Spider is sitting. Sitting's not quite the right word. He's twisted on the bed with his shirt off, and he's holding needles and ink, and he is like tattooing his own side.
I was very worried about what the 12-year-old was going to see for a second. I'm glad it was just tattooing.
Sam had a relatively good idea of what was happening.
Yeah.
Mysel didn't.
Yeah. It's like Spider's like holding them and like looking. He looks at his side and looks back at the kid and said, I need to like finish this line or it's gonna be a mess. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, feel free to talk.
Did you do all of those yourself?
Oh no, definitely not. I just add to them sometimes.
I like them.
Me too.
Yeah, there's a fancy question. How is creepy kid seeing this?
Oh yeah.
Blind kid seeing the lines.
I mean, it's a combination. It's like they kind of resonate. Like they'd probably resonate with the importance they have to Spider.
Yeah. Yeah, and they all like. It feels like his skin is covered in a web of memories.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely a moment where Spider like goes to start again, then stops and looks back at Muscle. He's like, Wait, how can you see me?
Blind.
But you can see them.
Well, kind of. They're important to you, and so they resonate for you, and they are a part of you. So when you create ripples, I guess is the best word, in space, they're a part of the ripples.
Are you a real boy, Meisel?
Yes?
Oh, okay.
Why do people think I'm not real?
You're not like other people, let alone other children.
Well, that I get. Like, that was part of what I wanted. Talking to the others, and I wanted, like, I get it that I'm not like, that I can be off putting and weird, creepy. Haven't really had people react to it directly in a little while. So, but I'm not unaware of it. And I don't do it on purpose or anything. I didn't want you to think that that's what I was trying to do.
You're not the creepiest kid I've ever known. You might be the strangest, but
It's kind of impressive, I guess, for whoever the other kid was.
yeah, well.
But I guess if you tried for it. Anyway.
Do you want to know why they call me Spider? Or how I got that name?
Yeah.
I mean, the tattoos didn't come first, obviously.
Okay. I mean, that's what I thought. But then when you said that, I assumed I was wrong.
I spent a lot of time as a kid, when I was about your age, actually, on the streets in the capital, pickpocketing, stealing. It was part of a gang, you know? And everyone there had names except me. They just used to call me Jas, and I think that's because most of them grew up together, whereas I only joined the gang when I was a little younger than you. Anyway, this is way too much information. The point is, there was this one kid, Bricks. He's a good friend of mine now. Well, I think he is. But at the time, he was a right proper prick. And that's like, I think Spider like hits a nerve on the needle and like winces and like takes it off and goes, all right, that's enough. And like puts the needles down and says, Bricks was a little bit older than me. He was the oldest one in the gang at the time. And because I was new, but I was good, he liked to spend a lot of time making me feel like shit. And I don't blame him for that now, because kids are kind of all little pricks. But no offense. But my other friends in the gang always ask why I never stood up for myself, and never had a proper reason, but it's always been my way to think about the long game. One time, Fingers, our boss, he set up an elaborate ruse for us to rob some rich dragonborn fellow, and I botched the job on purpose in such a way that Bricks got caught. It was the most satisfying feeling I've ever had in my life. They cut off one of his fingers. Anyway, everyone knew then not to get caught in my web. And so they start calling me Spider. It's about patience, isn't it?
Sometimes, I guess. Sometimes you have to act quickly, but sometimes you have time to work it out and make the right move.
Yeah, but justice. Right. You wouldn't understand. I mean, maybe you would. You're young, but you seem to know things. Have you ever gotten revenge on someone, Mysel?
Not revenge, I guess, but I guess there were times when there were people who were mean or cruel, not just to me, but to a lot of people. And I helped stop that. And then they weren't being cruel to other people anymore. And that felt good because, I mean, I know what it's like to have people be cruel to you. It's not nice.
So you just travel around the world changing it for the better, do you?
Not how I would put it, but kind of help where I can. I mean, I have abilities that usually other people don't have. And I mean, if I'm not using them to help people, then what's the point of having them?
Do you think everybody deserves to be helped?
Well, I guess I have a unique perspective.
I'm sure that you do, kid.
Well, like someone's angry at someone else and they're yelling. And you might get upset or angry back because, you respond to the anger. But often I'll see the pain behind the anger. And it's difficult then not to want to help. But some people, there isn't pain behind the anger or the cruelty. There's joy. They revel in it. And I think with time, you could help them, certainly, but in some situations, you have to weigh it up against the time it would take to the amount of damage they'll do in that time, and who else that they'll be cruel to or cause pain to. Sometimes you have to help the other people. Try to help as many as you can, but usually you can't help everyone.
Which do you think I am, Mysel? What do
Oh,
you
I
see?
know which one you are. I know your secret.
Creepy kid is creepy.
You understand It's a very fine line between that pain and that joy.
I know. I've seen it. But I also see, well, I was very specific when I first met the four of you. The others didn't really listen to some of the words I said, and they just sort of took their own meaning. But people usually do that. But I was very specific with the words I was using.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that.
You cloak yourself. I can see it. I can see the cloak that you're wearing. Secrets and rage. But you wear a cloak to protect yourself or to hide. And that's because of the other secret. And you don't seem to want to look at it very much because you're worried what the answer is. But I can tell you the answer is okay.
Sometimes the secrets we keep, they exist because we wish they didn't. It's hard to talk about.
I know. I just had the other three asking me a lot of questions that I wanted to answer, but I don't really have the right answer for them. I don't want to feel like that I'm trying to mislead them or anything. I want to answer, but it's hard and I don't really have the words.
Do I not scare you, my son?
No? Why would
Even
you?
though you know that there's a fairly reasonable part of me that just wants to kill you right now.
Yeah. But that's part of the rage that you wear, not part of you.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I can see you. So you don't scare me.
Well, that makes one of us.
Well, one day you'll thing about cloaks is you can take them off when you're comfortable and you don't need it anymore. And it's always there. You can just put it back on if you need it. But when you take it off, you can look at that secret and you can see for yourself what the answer is. And I get it's scary. I can see that. I think it's worse not knowing.
This whole trip for me, I've been trying to not wear that anger. My brother made it easier. If I don't find him, I don't know if I'll be able to take it off.
Then I guess it's a good thing I'm here.
I guess it is.
You said I was sent to protect Alexandra, and I think it's odd that you assumed that I'm here just for her.
You've heard the song.
No. I spoke to my friend. I'm sorry that wasn't clear.
Your friend, right?
I know. He can explain it better than I can.
Well, I look forward to that.
Yeah, me too. But from what I gathered, I don't think I'm here for Alexandre. Well, I don't think I'm just here for Alexandre.
I'll tell you what, though, kid, it hits different when they were the ones that were mean to you and you get them back. It's just so good. It's so good.
Sure. But on the other hand, how do you think it feels when the people that were mean to you, cruel to you, wanted nothing to do with you, thank you because you helped them when no one else could?
Yeah. Yeah. Did Renamala let you drink alcohol?
No, she actually, she thought about it, but then remembered that I was 12.
You're like this fucked up, drunk, wise owl.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. I know a lot of things, and as I was trying to explain, sometimes I don't know why I know them, or how I know them, or where I got it from. Sometimes I do. And sometimes the answers don't make a lot of sense. That's why I like having my friend. He helps fill in the gaps sometimes. But right now, he doesn't do well in cities or towns like this, not without a lot of explaining, and we don't really have time.
Did the siblings decide whether they were coming with us?
Mala is. She is conflicted.
Are they in their tent?
I think she is. I don't know about Mala.
I better go have a word to them then.
Okay.
He like bandages up his side and chucks a shirt on.
It's nice talking with you.
Yeah, it was. I think it's a classic ruffle of the hair as he walks past.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out if Spider meant what he understood what he said, or if that was completely slip of the tongue. But it was hysterical. It was nice talking to you. Yeah, it was. And he walks leaves.
I mean, this is like people who say "you too" when someone says "I love you" or something. It's like whatever. I mean, you know what I meant.
That's just the thing. That's the question: is which version was Spider at?
Yeah, Spider's gonna make his way to the siblings' tent, and this is like significantly later, presumably, because Spider wasn't. You know.
No, Marla, for the last time, I won't pull your finger.
Hello.
Oh, thank God, Jasper. Please save me from the sulfur.
What's wrong?
Oh,
What?
the She thinks she's terribly funny, telling jokes loud enough for people in other tents to hear when I'm trying to sit here and read a book.
I am terribly funny. Thank you very much for saying.
All right. I don't know if you two have made a decision yet. I just wanted to have a chat. Of course, like, I hope you don't feel like you have to just because you know.
Mala passes you a glass of wine.
No, thanks. Best not. I know you were saying on the first leg of the journey that we might need someone new. After this point, because you're not as familiar with the tunnels and what. And look, much as I enjoy your company, both of you, I just don't want you to feel like there's any guilt.
Okay, I'm gonna put you out of your misery. I've yet to see you walk on walls properly. So I thought, why not? I'll stay. I'll see Jasper show off his amazing talents, you know?
Right, okay.
Marlon wants the adventure. And
well, and please understand the biggest reason I wasn't going any further was because I hadn't been told I was allowed to. Yeah, do you understand? I quote work for somebody. So now
well, that's what I was going to say. Is like that. Also, that like don't come just because the family say to. I know or do if that is your job. I still don't quite understand how that works.
Try and explain it to you. It's very simple. Do you like to eat?
Yeah, all right, smartass.
Again.
I'm going to use that one now. Thank you. Thank you, Spider.
Yeah, all right, smartass.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, well, yeah, good to have you along. I think this kid's staying.
I don't think that was a choice for any of us.
No.
I think Mala kind of chuckles, has a sip out of her wine glass, and puts her book aside and says, I think, quite honestly, the only thing I'm actually vaguely interested in doing is trying to leave about an hour and a half early and seeing if the kid is just coincidentally ready to go or not. Just because officially, his job is to find us and hang out with us. And if that's true, then it's a very easy acid test to find out, how much of what he's blathering on about is just coincidental and how much of it is just he's been sort of primed in advance about who we are. He hasn't really said anything that, for lack of a better way of putting it, a good intelligence organization wouldn't give someone. Most of the major families down here have good intelligence organizations.
Yeah, I just had a very interesting chat with him myself. Kind of like him.
Yeah, you're both creepy. That makes sense.
Maul is going to kind of glance over at Spider and say, that's a change. Did you say you just liked him?
Yeah, well, at first I thought he was like a kid, like a normal kid. The normal kid's a pain in the ass,
but now you found out he's a weirdo like you, and that's cool. And that's cool. Is that what you're saying?
Marla, we're supposed to be reading books, not them. Okay.
I mean,
I was trolling. I have no idea what the But based on that,
say all this like you two aren't also weirdos.
Oh, good. Have you
Definitely
seen
are.
Bobby?
Very strange.
Right. So, like, pull the other one. When are we leaving then?
Huh?
Tomorrow morning? Good to go?
I
Well,
don't know. Maybe we should get ready, Marla.
Who do you think his friend is?
Oh. Does Spider also do like...
Yes, it's like just no, whatever conversation we were having, this is way more interesting.
Paul at that point passes a glass of wine over to Beck, or puts her glass in front of you for a second. I don't think he has a friend, Mala says with a laugh. I think he's a very imaginative little boy who's come up with a fantastic coping mechanism for being a walking pile of magic. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I think it could be that. Or
You're to
we're
blame it.
about to meet... Oh, no, go for it.
Well, I honestly, I find it. I can't imagine any condition under which a quote friend would say, "Hey, let's send the 12-year-old unbelievably creepy kid to be the diplomat," unless it's an 11-foot tall Velberdran who's decided to become a vegetarian. Okay, that's about the only condition I can come up with that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just presuming the kid's got a very, very good coping mechanism that fits a 12-year-old headspace.
I would normally agree with you.
No, you
But I
wouldn't.
think we're going to see something, if not malevolent, something symbiotic.
Yeah, I've got a few running theories.
You divulge.
Could be a demon. That's like worst case scenario.
Right. Okay. That's a lot worse than I was thinking. Okay, go on to the next ones.
I mean, it could be an angel.
Okay, where are we going?
Divine possession, infernal possession seem to be two pretty strong themes there, sis. I'm not sure how you're missing that.
It could be.
What is the last one?
Now, bear with me on this one.
Oh, because divine possession. Maul is actively biting a knuckle to not laugh her full head off.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's they sound outlandish, but I mean, you've met the kid. At least those things I know sort of exist. But something in me wants it to be a dragon.
God, please, no. Okay.
I'm just gonna say, you get this absolutely pained eye roll that's practically audible. Dragons haven't existed since before the giants wiped them out. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. It would be,
but it would be so cool, though.
Okay, but
Holy-
consider.
only if by cool you mean that 12-year-old has been adopted by a city-sized carnivore, okay? I'm not sure why this would improve our conditions.
What if
you're
it
probably
was a
right.
flying giant?
I mean, that's not that different from a saint, is it?
You're not wrong. Either way, I think it's actually real. Or not real, but real enough. Nadine, don't like the face that Sam just made. I'm stressed. Oh no.
Oh dear, this just stopped being fun, says Nadine.
I take it back.
I definitely
a small,
feel
tiny pixie, very cute, very sweet, very nice.
I definitely feel like you're in
feed
for
you
a
berries.
surprise, Marlo. If I didn't already own all your money, I'd bet on it. But you know,
Oh, no, I'm happy to bet on it.
But No, but we're on the same side. We don't have anything to bet against.
Okay, no, it's fine. Fine. I'll give my money.
You're going to lose your money on something you don't believe it is.
No, I think it's real. We both think it's real. She doesn't think that it's real.
I know. But she has nothing to bet with.
Oh, honey, she has far more money.
I thought I was just lending it back to you. You know what? I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, Spider.
And like on the way back to my room, I'll knock on Alexandrine's door.
Yes.
Everyone's in. I'll see you first thing in the morning.
I knew. I'll see you first thing in the morning.
You okay?
Yes.
All right. That's it.
Alrighty then, folks. Unless my clock is lying to me, I think the next
Just
morning.
kiss.
Who?
I'm really not sure that we want to see him.
That's your answer for everything.
Yeah.
That's always the answer.
Yeah,
I'll
so
stop using it if it stops working.
That's like the weird body swap episode, I feel like.
yeah,
Oh.
So- that tomorrow morning's going to have to be next week.
I think that makes sense.
Yes.
All right. So yeah. Lots of ground covered, but no distance moved. Very interesting session.
Creepy kid's still creepy. Yep.
Yes,
The
but now he's
fun kind of creepy that we can all enjoy.
No.
Oh,
Like-
no.
No, I have concerns.
yes, but now he's gone from being a to being a surrealist author, and that's much more easy to deal with.
Even in kids' clothing. Alexandri's not going to allow them to leave.
I love that we went from you accepting that the song sent this kid immediately and Spider being like, what the fuck is this weird kid? To like Spider being like, hey, this kid's cool. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
It's not even that. She just has a problem with the fact that, like, fashion.
That he doesn't understand fashion. That's the red flag for you.
I mean, to be fair, particularly in the jacket, he does look like the youngest of 7 who got hand-me-downs.
Exactly. Who sells a kid that?
That's what I grew up in, mate.
No, it's wrong. That's not. We need to get.
He looks like someone's the phrase "you'll grow into it" is used a lot.
Alexandra. Okay, one more scene. Alexandra's going out, and she's gonna buy clothes.
Not at that time. You can do that next. You can do that next tomorrow morning.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. She's got a whole makeover planned. That's what's happening.
Are we going to get a fashion montage in the next episode?
Yes.
But it's for a 12-year-old, so it's got TikTok music over it.
Also, yes.
And loops.
My soul's a savage. Don't he?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Shall we sign off,
We
everybody?
really just exposed how old party we are.
I didn't want to say it,
let you go. I
but
just thought I'd let you go.
kept handing rope.
Just edit out that bit for the Zoomer.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
It's just a hard
Kids,
cut to
come
credits.
hang out with us. We'll do the TikToks.
Thanks, everyone. It was great. We're leaving. Jamie, tell me, do you like hot chocolate or milkshake more?
I'm not great on dairy, so like both are kind of a problem.
I'm just glad I didn't ask you mashed potato or chips. Frankly.
For the uninitiated watching, I'm allergic to potatoes.
Jamie!
Oh.
No!
About as allergic as I am to dairy. I think
Oh,
so.
no, really?
Yeah, I love milkshakes, but having one
Soy
makes me
milkshake.
very, very ill.
I need to show you how to make a soy milkshake.
I just don't like so much.
Soy.
I'll work it out. Anyway.
Oat milk all day, every day, baby.
Oh, I can't have that gluten.
Oh,
So many allergies.
they're all a liability.
So milkshakes, yes.
If it were the apocalypse, see y'all later.
Basically, I would not be alive now if I didn't.
No,
make it
you'd just be
specifically this
pooping
time.
lots.
I wouldn't be
Pooping
alive.
so
Right.
much.
That's like there's a point where you probably shouldn't anymore, or you'll die. That would have hit. So
Told you, right?
miracles. Jamie, tell us about you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was born. I'm Jamie. I'm a voice actor and director, amongst many other slashy things. You can find me on Twitter at Muffin Manifesto or on my website, jamie-collette.com. You should check out youtube.com/Ractus, which is the Know Your Role channel, to see me in their Blades in the Dark game, which is now wrapped up for the season. And you should check out streamedshakespeare.com, because we just dropped the new trailer on our Facebook page for Henry IV Part 1 and 2 in space. It's a good time. And I believe there might be a discount ticket code coming very soon. That shows in a couple of weeks' time.
Fantastic.
Sam, milkshake or hot chocolate?
Milkshake.
Very nice. Tell us about you.
I generally don't do a lot of hot drinks.
Okay. I mean, tell us about you other than the hot drinks.
Oh, all right. I'm a voice actor and a performer from Brisbane. You can find me on Twitter at @_RealSammyP. Other than here, you can also find me on Mondays on the RPG at Home channel, where we'll be, I think not this week, but the week after, we're going to start some D&D, having previously been doing Pulp Cthulhu. And it's all in aid of sort of promoting their Wednesday one-shots, which you can join in on. You can sort of buy yourself a ticket, I guess, and join in a one-shot if you're looking for somewhere to play.
Very cool.
Awesome. Nadine, milkshake, hot chocolate.
Why not both?
If you had to go without one of them, which would it be?
Milk. Chocolate, hot chocolate.
Milk, hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
I think milkshakes come in all different flavors.
This is true.
And hot chocolate only comes in one flavor.
This is also true.
Dude, you need to go to a chocolate shop. I mean,
I'm
hot
not that big on chocolate.
Okay.
I would rather other flavors than chocolate.
Which flavor would you prefer?
Anything like fruity. So if you give me like a passion fruit and mango.
Oh my god! It's you! It's you! You're the person! You're the one! It's you!
I'm so confused. What do I
They
do?
laughed me out of the building.
It took a moment to work out what was going on. But oh my god.
Explain the joke.
In a previous episode of Unlawful
Yeah.
Disorder, Spider bought a passion fruit milkshake
Yeah.
for Alexandria, and I, Jamie, was almost laughed out of the show. for
Because,
thinking
What's
that.
wrong with the passion fruit?
because
Milkshake.
neither Alexandri nor Lucas like passion fruit. Both of them were like, no, chocolate is the answer.
Okay, so you're boring. You're basic.
No, it was more the specificity of choice. You went passion fruit, And
Yeah, I
I
fucking
just
love
couldn't.
passion
My
fruit.
brain exploded. I couldn't
No,
handle
passion fruit
it.
and mango is top tier combination. You cannot change my mind. Anyway,
Anyway,
that's
what do you do?
we're gonna move
What do
on.
you do?
I am a voice actor, writer, and general nerd. You can find me on Twitter or Twitch at NE_actor. I will eventually start streaming again. I'm sure, probably, maybe. That is my motto. Never say
Maybe.
next week.
It's true. Never say next week.
I am technically not currently working with them because I finished it and I've seen a couple of the new drafts and they look amazing. So everyone check out Goddess Gazetteer. It is a D&D 5e expansion, all for a really great cause. You can check out that Kickstarter there. And hopefully the final episode, the finale of Primordial Deep, which is a podcast that I'm in, will be out soon, and that is a spicy one. So you can check them out on Twitter as well. That's me.
Michelle,
That would be me.
hot chocolate or milkshake?
This is a cause of existential crisis. However, as a Canadian, I have to pretty much vote in the side of hot chocolate because, as Great Mustache says, you can actually add flavor to hot chocolate. But one of those things you cannot do. You see, in Canada, it gets very, very cold. Unlike you folks in the Australia places, we actually get snow and stuff here. So the problem is that during summer, I can sit the hot chocolate down and wait a while, and then it's just hot chocolate milk, and that's really good. However, during winter, a milkshake turns to a frozen brick, and that's awkward. So I have to take the hot chocolate. Versatility.
I understand.
My favorite thing about Canada is in the winter, you don't need a freezer to keep your alcoholic adult beverages cold. You can just stick it in the snow outside your back door.
For like a minute and then bring it back in because otherwise it's frozen.
Actually, it is in fact a thing. It is a favorite party thing for Canadians, particularly those living in apartments. You just do not shovel your balcony and use it as the drink freezer.
we do the same thing, but we fry eggs.
Fry eggs on the pavement.
That's not the same thing at all.
It's what we get, though. It's what we get, so we're happy with it. What do? Tell us about you.
What do I do? All right. So I'm a author and longtime, by which mumble years, tabletop GM, and I also write books. You can catch up on my novels at on Amazon.com. Just search for my name. You can also catch up with me with other stuff for my website, michelleRvaillancourt.com, and MichelleV69 on Twitter. I'm currently working on my newest novel. Finally gotten the writer's block broken with the help of a friend, so getting that back on stream. So I'm hoping, and I've got two people who are basically telling me straight up to not self-publish this one, but to take the traditional publishing route with it. They think it's worth it. So they think it's saleable to an agent, is the better way of putting it, that it's worth taking the time to do that. So I may give that a try. I was greatly disappointed in the process the first time I gave it a try, but hopefully it'll go better. I also do celebrity GM stuff. It feels really weird to say that. I can't just, this is not the face of a celebrity anything, but there we go. And so I'm going to be running some Star Wars Fantasy Flight games for a group I know. And what else is going on? I think that's it for me. I'm by the way, just as a sidebar, I've been seeing a lot of folks advertising, looking for voice actors, people of color, LGBTQ, and Aussies in particular. So I've been retweeting them furiously. So if you are keeping an eye on me, you should be seeing stuff like that getting retweeted. Do pay attention.
Can you just DM me directly? Because like, if you're gonna like actively attack me with a casting call, I feel like I should be actively attacked by it.
Well, I just I keep seeing them go by, and I just they're not for me, but certainly I certainly am trying to amplify them because I think that's a great space. Yeah, I know.
I'm on Twitter enough, but you should DM us stuff.
I will start.
Do
Go back.
that.
I'll go back to my tweets because it's only been in the past week or so.
Okay.
But yeah, as I see stuff, I will start forwarding it to y'all. And I think that's just about me. Yeah.
Me, as much as I desperately wish to like milkshakes, I am a hot chocolate person. If I will have chocolate at all, hot chocolate that is, I am much more likely to have like a chili hot chocolate, but a small one, because it becomes too much chocolate too quickly, and I don't like to infuse that fast. I do stuff. I am an actor, voice actor, psychologist, writer. I have a play that's now casting, which is fun. That's with subtle nuance. That's nice. So that's
They're lovely
random.
people, though.
They are lovely. So that's happening now. And I also write game. Right now one, but technically kind of two. What else do I do? Help. I do other stuff too. Oh, I play Castle Falkenstein over at action_fiction at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is our on week. So if you are around at 8 p.m. Eastern at action_fiction, please do come hang out. And that's everything I can remember. Yay. I did it. So that is going to be us for this week. Please, if you are on Twitch, follow, please. We like it. We do like follows. Follows are nice. Follows make happy us. Sentence no good. I don't sentence good. I write a no sentence good. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe because that really helps too. And we will
Your
see
liking helps as well.
Liking,
on YouTube.
Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us. I know all of these things. I also actually do other stuff there, but that's not the point. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week for tomorrow.
Next week. It'll be great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.